Welcome to Faith in Isolation on Emmanuel's Montreal, and today in the Orthodox calendar we celebrate the Sunday of Thomas. Who was Thomas? He was one of Christ's disciples who, at the time of Christ's resurrection, doubted. He wanted to see it for himself that he has truly risen. And so the Sunday after Easter Sunday, we celebrate the feast day of Thomas. And as always with Faith in Isolation on Emmanuel's Montreal, what we do is we try to relate ancient scripture and how it pertains to today's society. So how does the doubt of Thomas relate to our society? And one main example is people want more proofs to believe something. Example is, no, I don't think I'm gonna ever get sick. No, that doesn't happen to me because I'm invincible. That is one form of doubt that modern society has. Doubting and remaining in denial of a certain eventuality. Yes, we're not going to get sick every day, but throughout the course of one's life, you do get ill. Sometimes minor, sometimes severe, but we all get sick. There's not one person in the world that I've known in my living years that has not gotten sick, whether it be sniffles, a cold, a minor cold, a flu, or even more severe. People get sick, and today's society doubts that. Another example would be relationships. When you want to get into a relationship, people, depending on your status. So you try hard to meet somebody, and that somebody sees you as old school. And what does that mean? They doubt that you're a good person without even giving you a chance. All they look at is your status. Oh, you're still living at home. Oh, you're still living with your parents. Yeah. What does that have anything to do with my capability of being a good person and offering a relationship fruitful forwardness? Doesn't have anything to do with it, but society today doubts it because, for people to hook up, you got to be alone. And if you have siblings, brothers, sisters, okay, it's only natural that you want your space and you do move out and you go. But when you don't have anybody, what is the point of living alone? Eventually, when you find somebody, you will move on to your own nest. But it has nothing to do to determine the validity and credibility of a worthy relationship. So that's another example of society doubting today. They doubt you based on your status. And so, that said, this concludes this edition of Faith in Isolation, celebrating the feast day of Thomas. If your name is Thomas, happy name day to you. Also on this day, the feast day of Thomas, in Orthodoxy, we have the tradition of the cracking of the egg. And what is that? Basically, we gather, except for this year, we can't gather because of situations known and beyond our control. We cannot gather. But usually we would gather in the church hall and we would have the cracking of the egg. It's a ceremony which again depicts and goes back to the times of Christ and Thomas, where Thomas did not believe and wanted to see for himself the resurrection. So the cracking of the egg signifies the resurrection of Christ, and proving it on the day of the feast day of Thomas, proving to everyone that might have any doubt that Christ has risen, that he has truly risen. And that's why we crack the egg in a gathering, in a group, in a church hall every Sunday of Thomas. So now you know. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll catch you again next time on Faith in Isolation. As Montreal continues right now, right here on YouTube and Twitter.